So you want to start a handyman business. Well, you came to the right place. This is the ultimate guide to starting a handyman business. Daryl, also known as the Finisher. I've done anything you think of in the handyman business. I started out, I jumped out there with not really much experience, especially in the business side, but I didn't have any money either. But I was in a situation where I was in a pinch where I needed to get out there because my job wasn't paying enough, and then my hours got cut at my part-time job, and it was just like I needed money. So it was either stay at the job or just get on my own, and that's what I did. But by doing that, it made me learn a lot of different things about how to start, best practices when you start, and the difference between starting and running the business. We're going to talk about starting the business, not running the business really. Okay, so this is about getting started and trying to get up and running the fastest way possible and all the options that you have, and base everything on your circumstance. We don't want your business to just be in and out of here.
Grand opening, grand closing.
We want you to last and stick around for a while and, make some money and, hey, even make enough money to change your whole family's life. All right, so let's get started. Before we actually get into any other details, you're gonna have to understand the situation that you're in. What's your circumstance? It's kind of like to choose your own adventure. And we're gonna get into a little bit more detail about each one towards the end. But it's kind of like you're probably in either one of three situations where, like me, where you just kind of jumping in. You need money now. There is no to wait and wait. No, you need money now. There's the person who planned it out and has a lot of money saved up and is just like ready to just take the leap. And then there's the other guy who's like, you know what? I'm gonna start slow. I'm gonna maybe do this part-time, take a few jobs at a time, maybe build it up until I get to the point where it overtakes my regular job. So towards the end, we'll start talking more about how those three specifically are affected by the choices that you're gonna make. All right, so let's go. Now you're gonna have to pick a name. That's a beautiful thing, man. Like, this is the start of your business, man. I mean, do you have any idea? You gotta think about this is how big that is. You know what I mean? Google was just a thought. That name was just somebody thought to name a company Google, and then they grew it into what it is now. This behemoth. I'm not planning on doing anything like that, but it's yours. It's your business. What do you want to name your business? Now, I do have opinions about whether you use handyman in the title. You got a lot of people who's on different sides. It just depends. Depends on what you want to do. It depends on what you want to do in the future. You gotta have a little clairvoyance about this. In the future, are you planning on just staying a handyman business? Are you planning on maybe one day getting your contractor's license and trying to, who knows, maybe build houses? If you want to stay a handyman business and grow it, put handyman in the title, because people are gonna search for it and they're gonna find you. But if you have an idea to maybe be a contractor one day or something like that, it might be better to go a different route. You can be as specific as you want. Like I said, handyman is cool. It's gonna be a catch-all, but you have to think about the future and what you plan on doing. You don't really see too many handyman companies building homes. You see what I'm saying? Like, so if you start out like that and then one day, then down the road you want to change, you want to, like said, be a contractor and be building additions and building houses and things of that nature, then it might not be best to start out with handyman in the title. If you want to do the handyman thing, then it's gonna make it way easier for people to find you when they're searching for a handyman. If you have handyman in the title, I mean, that goes without saying. So that's one of those things you got to figure out. So you get your business name. Then you get all the appropriate documents. You get your EIN, you get your business insurance. I put my auto insurance in with my business insurance. So just something I just feel that's like it's more protected. So while I'm driving all day, that I'm protected with the vehicle too. You get your business license, and then try to find things like when you get the name, you also want to see if you can find a domain name that'll go with it, the corresponding domain name, your .com or whatever. That it's just beautiful thing, man, for your business, for the professionalism and future proofing your business. So get that domain name if it's possible. And even if you gotta flip the name of the business to make it match the domain, if you can do that, make it really easy to match you up and find, it's a beautiful thing. You're gonna have to figure out what is your skill level. That's something you're gonna have to think about, your skill level in the beginning, to kind of figure out what kind of services that you plan on offering. Are you skilled enough to just say, hey, blanket, I'll do anything, I can do anything, and I can learn on the fly? You can do that. Do you want to specifically start with certain jobs? Or, I mean, are you coming at it where you don't have any experience and you don't know much of anything yet? So you need to maybe just do some low-hanging fruit? It's all fine, it'll all work. It just, you need to be honest with yourself about what your skill set is. I'd even go as far as to make a list, all the jobs that you can do, that you know how to do. This is, like I said, this is for you. This is just a list just so that you know what you're capable of. And then you also need to know what kind of tools you have. You know, do you have the corresponding tools to do the job? Or are you gonna have to rent tools? And if you are, maybe you need to check the rate of renting tools to see if it's something that's possible. Things are weird with rental companies. Renting a scaffold is pretty cheap. Renting scaffolding and renting ladders are pretty cheap. But then you get certain things where you like, something to like a drain snake or something like that. They start to get a little pricey. Tile saws, things of that nature, like good tile saws, they start to get a little pricey. So, you want to start looking at those and see what kind of tools that you have that corresponding to the job that you're doing. And then, make a plan, but be serious about what you know how to do, so you can really figure out what services you want to put out there or what services you want to advertise for. Like I said, you get your business name, you get all that information, you get your EIN, you get your business license. However you do that in your state, I'm always suggesting get the business license, do everything legit. Then you're gonna want to open an account. You've had to have a good amount of paperwork, from my experience, to open an account. I've heard people say that you just take your EIN and just open a bank account. That's not been my experience. My experience has been, you need your EIN, you need your business license, you need the registered agent information, you need even articles of incorporation. Like, there are a few different things. So you'll have to go to your bank, whatever your bank is, to find out everything that they need for you to open a business account. And then you can go get that. You can actually start there. So maybe you just go to your bank, see all the information you need. I had to do different things, like I had to go to the court system and go to the Protho Notary. I think that's how you say it. But to get extra documentation done, it's just, you have to just figure it out to make sure you're 100% legit. And a lot of times your bank will have all the information. They'll let you know all the information that they need so you can open a bank account. Because you definitely want to do that. Next, you're going to want to start working on your SEO. Now, this ain't the only way you're going to get leads, but this is always the best way you're going to get leads, is by working on your SEO. Now, there's certain things you can do yourself to boost up your SEO. You need to get your Google My Business. Get your Google My Business page set up. You're going to want a website, and whether you set that up yourself or you can host it through, Squarespace or something like that, regardless of how you do it, you can have your Google My Business pointing to your website. You know what I mean? Sending people to your website. And the website is one of those things. Doesn't have to be complex or elaborate. That's why I said something like Squarespace that'll help you set it up yourself. It just makes the process a lot easier. You want to sign up for social media. You want to do this early. Matter of fact, even when you come up with your name, you also want to, at that same time, you want to just go ahead and get all the social media names before, other people snatch them up, because it's like that. It's like that in the world we live in. It's cutthroat. So you want to go ahead and get all your social media stuff set up. But when I'm like your SEO, I'm saying you need to get online and get on everything. When I say everything, you need to sign up on everything. Like, I'm talking about Yellow Pages, Super Pages, whatever it is. You don't have to use Yelp. You still sign up you still get an account on it. Sign up for everything. Make sure that your name, if people do a search, make sure that your name is everywhere. That includes YouTube. Good thing you can do, you don't have to make it public. Have a private YouTube page that you just send customers to show them your work. You could just record videos of your work and just have your customers go there to see it. Nobody else. It doesn't have to be something where you're putting it out there for the world. So I mean everything, all the social medias, YouTube. Get your business phone. Don't use your personal phone to have customers. I know people try to sell salesmen to do that. Oh, this is my personal phone, and I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but man, sometimes in the future you're gonna want to cut that phone off. And once you get your business established, that phone number is everything. It should be everywhere. It should be on your trucks. It should be on your YouTube page. It should be on all your social media sites. It should be everywhere. So you don't want to have your personal phone number just out in the world like that. Get a separate number set up, ready to go. Next, you're gonna create your logo, right? It's a critical piece, man, because your logo's gonna be everywhere. This is how you represent yourself throughout the world. Everybody's gonna know you by your logo, hopefully. But let me say a little something about the logo, real quick. In the handyman business, we're putting the guy to work, man. We're overworking this dude, man. I don't know when this started, but there's a guy that has like 8 arms, and he has a tool in each hand. And I see him on so many handyman logos. Y'all working this dude to death, man. I got 2 hands, and I rarely have more than 1 tool in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude got 8 arms and 8 hands, and y'all got tools in all the man's hands and working him to death. It's time, just let him retire. It's okay. I promise you, man, let that man retire. All right. Now, also as far as the logos go, it's all a preference thing. It's cool to have a tool in your logo or whatever, but just keep in mind you don't have to do that. People see the handyman in your title and they know what you are. Most of the time, if you think about larger companies, or just any kind of company, just think about it for a second. They don't really put the tools of their trade inside of their logo. Most companies, it's just their name in a particular way. And that's just how it is. So it's just something to just keep in mind. Now, you have everything. You surveyed the landscape, man. You have all the tools that you think you're gonna need. You have your business set up. You have your bank accounts. You have all the things. Now it's time to start advertising, man. Get your name out there. So, like I said, you got all the social medias, all the social media accounts and everything. It's time to either start posting. You could just start posting jobs, start posting pictures. A lot of this is what builds. It's also what builds SEO. Is start posting pictures to your Google My Business, to your Facebook, to your Instagram, just start. If you want to start putting videos up, you can. But like I said, videos you can private those and whatever. But we're moving into more of a world where people just love video. Make sure that you could put ads out in places. I know. Don't forget, you got Craigslist and things like that. You could put ads up, but you're gonna have to go with in the beginning. You're gonna have to worry about cost. Cost is gonna be a factor. And I've been telling people for a while, the amount that it costs to just keep a Facebook ad running, even if it's not gonna be shown to like tons and tons of people, just to have it on there is crumbs. Like, it literally costs hardly anything to have an ad run, just a constant ad running on Facebook and Instagram. Do it. You know what I mean? Do it. Don't hold back. Everything's on the table. Something I've seen that works very well, those yard signs, right? Well, I've been seeing people use them as bandit signs. In real estate, a lot of those wholesale guys, they'll put them signs out. We buy houses, and they get snatched up over time. But I've seen people at the Lowe's, a brand new company, just stick their sign out right in the Lowe's, at the Lowe's parking lot, or at Home Depot, or at certain stores, and they just everywhere. I had a company in my area that I think maybe last year they just started, and they were able to pick up a lot of traction because they just had these signs everywhere, and I was noticing them. They were every time I turn a corner, there's another sign. Man, these guys are about that life. You're gonna have to get out. I say you're gonna have to get out there and just be the soldier, man. Just get them boots on the ground and just start walking around. Walk around, find neighborhoods that you like and start putting your cards up. Start, you can use, some people use door hangers. I'm more of a, card in the mailbox kind of guy, just because, I don't know, door hangers these days, I don't know. You know what I mean? Everybody's a little on edge, right these days. So I just stay away from the door and I just hit the mailbox. But if you do the mailbox, you can't put nothing inside of the mailbox. It just put it in the little flag on the side of the mailbox. But yeah, get out there. Another form of advertisement. You can. To me, this is all preference. You can go ahead and get your vehicle wrapped. I'm not big on that, but that's more so because I look at it. I'm not trying to really grow a massive business. So I got the one guy called it one time. One guy said, "Hey, get that refrigerator magnet off the truck, man, and get a real, spend the money and get the car wrapped. Get some real." I like the refrigerator magnet. It's alright for me. I take it. I could put it on and take it off and throw it in the back when I don't need it. But I will say this: if you're gonna get the refrigerator magnet, stop getting these. You gotta make it so people can see it. I keep seeing people ride around try to fit all this information on get the biggest one that they have and put only the information that's needed. Like, people trying to squeeze in all the jobs that you can't read it. You're wasting your money. All right. Make sure that it's nice and large and that you got the things that matter. The name, the phone number should be the biggest, brightest thing on there. Maybe your website. That's about it. Your name, what you do. You doesn't need a whole bunch more information. Yeah, business cards. Of course you need business cards. You should be handing those out everywhere. Every customer, should get a few of them. You could do one. I used to go in a car wash and, you stick them on the wall. You got Sherwin-Williams. If you paint, then you could, get your little spot of Sherwin-Williams. Spots are coveted though, man, But I don't even think I've really ever got business offers and sticking my business cards up. But your business cards, they do mean something. And don't go get a cheap business card. They don't cost so much that you get a high level. Get some gloss on it. I got the ones with, they're nice and solid. The edges are rounded. There's stuff on the front, stuff on the back. I got the front, just all the business information. Then I got on the back, I got all the, listed, all the jobs that I do, or at least the vast majority of the jobs. Get a nice business card. People it's a presentation thing. Get out there, advertise, man. Because let me tell you something. Nobody has any idea who you are. It made me think about one time. I got a call from a local guy, just a local business owner, and the guy's business is well known in my area. But it was for what I did. He had plaster that had leaked through a ceiling. It was like an old house, but it was a very expensive house. And it kind of was a trip because I'm like, this guy is a big business guy in the area for 30 years. And he didn't know who to call. He didn't know somebody to call. You were thinking he knew somebody, they had somebody to call. He didn't know, so he didn't know who to call. Nobody knows who you are. You'd be surprised. You ride around in this truck. Just think about it for a second. If I say right now, boom, in your area, you need an electrician, a local electrician, because you got an issue going on with an outlet, who you gonna call? Most people have no idea. You have no idea who your local electricians are. You know what I mean? You might think of a big company off the top, but you don't know. So what is those things you don't think about? Who are you gonna call if you have an issue with your garage door? Most people don't know. You don't know who the companies are until they're promoted properly. So make sure that you do that. Get out there and promote yourself. I used to just go, and I don't know if it did anything, but I would go at lunch when I was still working and just sit in the parking lot of the grocery store, try to get up towards the front, and just hope somebody saw my sticker on my car, on my truck, and I would just do that. Did it work? I don't know. I don't remember really getting any calls from people just saying it. But I did get calls in traffic, people saying, "Hey, I just drove past you and I saw your sticker on your vehicle." Just start putting yourself out there, have a good presentation. Now, we just had a conversation about advertising, right? So now, on top of that, you're gonna have to get some lead generation going. Now, you could just take the lead from your advertising. If that's getting you enough leads, but because you don't want to overdo it. I mean, like, let me say it like this. Unless you're trying to grow a massive business, you don't want to start out and just start having your phone ringing like crazy and start getting just inundated with phone calls, because you're going to disappoint a lot of people, because you're not going to be able to get to all these jobs and all this. So the way I look at it, you kind of want a steady flow, but you don't want nothing crazy. But if you're trying to grow, then hey, the more calls you can get, I guess the better. And there's a place for paid lead generation. I know people hate all these lead generation companies. I get it. Just like I told you before, if you've seen my video, then you'll know that Angie Leads, Home Advisor, Angie had a special place in my heart. I had love for Angie at one time. And then she started to play me, man. She hurt me to my heart. Just started to take me for granted. Go out there and just flirt with other contractors, man. And then she just started giving other contractors her work without, just leaving me by myself. And I had the choice, man. I had to either just accept this new reality, or I just had to let her go. And I had to let her go, man. And I'm just, I recommend that you don't mess with her either. But there are a lot of other companies out here, and a lot of other things you can do. I still do work with Home Depot. I like pro referral. I do think it lends you a certain credibility to have a certain company back you. That's what it is. I have people that call me from what they get suggested by the person in the store at Home Depot. And they like, yeah, man, Home Depot. If Home Depot told me to call you, you must be legit. Thank you, Home Depot. So I ride with Home Depot. I'm still with Pro Referral, but that's it. I don't do any other lead generation, but I have in the past. Thumbtack has good volume. There's a lot of people that go on Thumbtack. My issue, this is all going to be about circumstances, whether you choose to use paid lead generation or not. Remember, I was talking earlier about I said there are three different situations that people are in. There are people who you say, well, you need money now, you plan this out, and you already have a stockpile of money, or that you want to keep your job and just do a part-time, do this part-time and build it up slowly. Well, if you need money now, paid lead generation might be the way to go. It depends. You might not have the time to wait. I didn't have the time to wait. I did not have the convenience to wait for phone calls. I just didn't. And they say, yeah, I told everybody, my friends and family, everybody at work, everybody at, like I said, I had 2 jobs. I had to tell everybody at both jobs, and it still wasn't like my phone was ringing. You know why? Because nobody knows who you are. Hopefully you have a little money for some lead generation or something, or you're gonna have to maybe do some work for a little less. That's why I'm talking about things like TaskRabbit and things of that nature. Handy.com, which is Home Advisor's sister. So, I don't know. You gotta watch out. But if you need money now, you're gonna have to get on some lead generation or something like that. Or if you planned it out, then like I said, you got time. You got time to. You can put some money into certain lead generation, but you could do the Google ads, build it that way. And if you're just going to do it part-time, then you don't have to worry about none of it. I would not. If I was just doing it part-time and it's something I was trying to do on nights and weekends, I would not be paying for lead generation. Not at all. And once you build it up anyway, even if you're desperate, you're in a desperate situation and you need the jobs now. Even if I paid, I wouldn't be paying for long. You got the choice if you're the guy just growing and, like I said, you have it all planned out. But you're going to have to pay for something depending on what you're doing. Just where you put your money, it's your choice. I'm not one of those guys against lead generation companies. I think there's a time and a place for it. I'm just about finding ones that'll do right to the contractors. And, some of them will, but we know some of them won't. Your presentation is gonna have to be on point. Okay? This is a very big thing. All right. When you walk into a customer's house, it's two things you're gonna have to have. And like I said, this is part of starting because you're selling yourself. You're not just selling your services. Certain services, I've said it before. We always use the ceiling fan reference. Anybody can put up a ceiling fan. Why should they have you do it versus the next person? And it's gonna come down to trust, your appearance and the way you present yourself, how you come across. So all those other things too. So your social media, look, I get it. Everybody got opinions about stuff, man. Keep that separate from your business. Don't get all mixed up into politics and everything inside of your business. It's not for that. Okay? You're there to make money, to maybe change your family's life. So you want to have a presentation. Don't walk in looking like Sasquatch. You know what I mean? Shave a little bit. You can have a beard in this industry. In our industry, it's okay to have some little something going on. Looking like a grizzled veteran. Make sure that not just the clothes that you use when you're doing estimates, but even when you're working, that your clothes look decent. There are no rips and holes and things of that nature. I go to customers, say if I have to go in a crawl space, I tell them straight up. Because I come looking like a little busted and disgusted, you know what I mean? And then I tell them like, look, I apologize for my appearance, but these are my crawl space clothes, so it's not how I normally dress. But for today, when I'm going in that crawl space, I can't just be wearing my Sunday best, you know what I mean? And they don't care because they already know. I'm always about having the tablet, my little kit when I go in to do an estimate. I got my tablet, I got my pen for the tablet, and I have a little laser measure, distance measure, and a regular tape measure. That's it. And I walk in and I'm with the tablet taking pictures or writing stuff on the tablet. I mean, they're sitting there like, the laser, give them a little light laser show. They loving it. They're eating it up. And it makes me look like the consummate professional. I got the shoe covers. I'm just like, I'm clean. I'm laughing and talking to them. Not always necessarily specifically. We're talking about the job. If we're going to talk about it, they're going to know I'm the expert. But we might talk about just regular everyday stuff. You might have kids, and I can relate to you with that. We might talk about kids. We might talk about something might talk about something in the news. We could be talking about almost anything, and it's my job to relate to you. And at least that's how I see it. That's how I've been able to make long-lasting customers, man. Customers that have been with me now for years that took a chance. I didn't have any information out there. So the next installment of this, we'll talk about running the business, okay? Which is, like I told you, getting started is one thing, but running it is a whole nother ball game. So we'll get into that. But until then, this has been fun, man. Daryl, also known as the Finisher, man. Stay safe, be blessed, and good luck getting into your new business. And remember, skilled labor makes the world go round.